Hey everybody, I just wanted to get on. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and we're going to be talking about the benefits of having a travel advisor, also known as a travel agent. Over the years, the titles kind of changed a little bit. We are considered more now of a travel advisor, not so much an agent. So I wanted to get into some details about what the benefits are of having a travel agent, because there still are benefits even in the year of 2022. And I also want to tell you some things that you really shouldn't do if you contact an agent. Some of my biggest pet peeves and other TA's pet peeves. So basically, a travel agent is an individual who provides and arranges travel services for you, tourism related services, accommodations, travel. We work with travel suppliers. I'm reading some notes, so if I look down, that's why. We simplify the process of booking travel for clients so that it can be pretty time consuming at times. So putting all the pieces together. So a travel agent is somebody who can do that for you, or a travel advisor is somebody who can do that for you. Most travel agents are invested in their clients. So they're going to take the time to get to know you, to learn about you, what your needs are, all of that stuff. And I'm going to say travel agent a lot because when I became a travel agent, I became a travel agent. I did not become a travel advisor. They kind of threw this travel advisor thing in there over the last maybe 5 years or so. So actually, before I go on any further to let you know the benefits of having a travel advisor, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and how long I have been in the travel industry. So I decided at a really young age that this was something I wanted to pursue. I actually ran into a school for travel agents back in 1991, maybe it was 92. I know it was before I was pregnant with my daughter. I just had my oldest son at the time. So I was 19 years old, and I came across an accredited travel school in Walnut Creek, and I really wanted to go. I don't know, it was a burning yearning that I really wanted to do this. I still don't know the reasons why, but it was something I really wanted to pursue, but it was very costly. We didn't have the money for it. And then not long after Matthew came, Nikki came. So then really, I stopped working at that point to be a stay-at-home mom. And it just wasn't in the cards for me then. And then, of course, Brady came along. And when Brady was about 3 years old, I went back to work. I worked part-time at Home Depot. And during this time period, I think I found out about it earlier, but it came back into fruition in this time period when I was working at Home Depot, that I relearned about another travel program, a travel marketing program that I could actually afford to do. And so when the time was right, I jumped on it. So basically, that travel program was the travel marketing program out of Los Medanos College in Pittsburgh, where I lived, which was fantastic. It was accredited, and it was through our community college, Los Medanos College. So it was very reasonably priced for me to do it. And the program was set up to where It could take you a long time to finish the program, or it could take you just a little bit of time to finish the program. So basically at this point, when I started the travel program at Los Medanos College, it was not long after 9/11. And so everybody knows what happened during 9/11, but it did put a very big hit in the travel industry. A lot of people didn't want to travel after 9/11. They were scared. A lot of things changed in the travel industry at that point. Airlines prior to 9/11 were a commissionable product for travel agents. After 9/11, it became a non-commissionable part of travel unless you booked it through a package, or if it was international travel, there's certain criteria, but your domestic air is not commissionable to travel agents. So it's something we don't make money on. None of the airlines offer a commission on booking airfare. So it was, a lot of travel agents were getting out of the business during that time period. So, I mean, when I joined the travel marketing program at LMC, the teachers went through all of this stuff and let everybody know, all of the changes that 9/11 had brought to the industry, but also let us know that we were still valuable, regardless of some of the things we couldn't make money on any longer. So I went ahead and I jumped head first. They say feet first, but I dove in. And I was determined that it was something I was going to pursue. And let me tell you, it hasn't been easy. It's been a long time. So I want to say I started school in late 2002, early 2003. And I finished the program towards the end of 2004. In 2005, I opened an agency in downtown Pittsburgh with a friend of mine who I met in the program. We rented out some office space, and we had basically a storefront. We didn't do very good. I did a lot better than she did, and then she decided that maybe travel wasn't for her. So we let this go on from 2005 until early 2008. She finally decided it wasn't for her, and we gave up the office. I moved home. I became home-based, and I've continued ever since. It hasn't been easy. I don't have a lot of clients. I am home-based. I'm word of mouth. I just don't pursue it like I should. And I think some of that is just because of some of the things I'm going to tell you don't do to a travel agent. It's just your confidence is not always at its best, especially when you've been taken advantage of many times over. So again, I'll get into that. So basically, why do you need a travel agent? Well, they have a lot of knowledge. If they're a true, authentic travel agent that has done the schooling, has continued to educate themselves with any of the programs out there that continue to educate us. Our suppliers that we use, they offer training, continuous training. They always have new products, new things coming out, so they offer continuous training. I'm very big on cruising, and there is lots of programs that help you with learning and keeping up to date with everything that's going on in the cruise industry. So they have a lot of knowledge. And I'm not going to say I'm like, I know everything, because I don't know everything. I would never in a million years tell you that I know everything. But I know a lot, and I'm very passionate about it. And a lot of people that talk to me know that I'm passionate about it, because when we start talking, especially cruising or travel in general, but really cruising, my mouth just runs and it just continues. Or Disney, my mouth just runs and it just doesn't shut up. So anyway, they're like basically in this literature that I'm kind of going off of a little bit just so I can keep in the points. It says, you hire a travel agent much like you would hire an electrician to handle your wiring in your home. They have the knowledge, they're going to do it correctly. So manage your money, they're professional, and they're, travel agents are there when you need assistance. So that's one of the reasons. Being trained, travel agents are trained. Now, not all travel agents are trained, and this is something very important, and it's one of a pet peeve of any real authentic travel agent. And sorry for anybody I may offend out there, but this day and age, there's a lot of MLM travel agencies. And if you don't know what MLMs are, that's multi-level marketing. If you're dealing with somebody who's trying to recruit you to be an agent with them, they're not a real travel agent. It's an MLM. I've been over this so many times. A real travel agent, unless you're working, unless you have a lot of business or you're working for a company, you're not going to bring other travel agents in with you unless you need the help, because you're overwhelmed with, sales. Why would I want to recruit somebody and give away my business? No, we want to make the money for ourselves. Travel agents make money from the suppliers that we sell. You don't pay us, the suppliers pay us. So we want to finish that sale, and we don't want to share. We don't want to share with others that we've recruited. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I go back and forth with that, but I am not with multi-level marketing. I do use a host agency, which basically carries all of the insurances, the numbers that you need to sell travel in the States, in the United States. And the reason why I do that is because it's very costly. You need a lot of insurance. I have had my own numbers in the past, even with being under my host agency. But being with my host agency affords me a lot. I make a little bit more money than if I was out there by myself, because they're top notch with the suppliers. Basically, they make the highest level of commissions with the suppliers pretty much across the board, especially their preferred suppliers. And the training is amazing. The tools that they give you are amazing. And being home-based, it just makes more sense for me to work with a host. And so I've been with my host since I started. I actually started with them late 2004, prior to even starting my office in 2005. So I've been with my host agency a very long time. So if you see anything on any of my literature that says Nexion, that is my host agency. You can look them up. It'll tell you what they are. And it's not an MLM. It's just not. So anyway, back to my second point, why you would want to work with a travel agent is because we have destination knowledge. Maybe not every destination in the world. I took a lot of destination specialist courses when I was at LMC. But you got to remember that was in 2003, 2004, and I've forgotten some of those things, so I have to refresh myself. Don't have a lot of knowledge with Europe and the other side of the world, but I do have a lot of cruise knowledge. I do have a lot of Disney knowledge. I know the Caribbean pretty much, fairly decently. Just, the things that I am most interested in selling, I have a lot of knowledge. Again, I'm not going to claim to be a know-it-all. Somebody might tell me I'm wrong, and that's okay. That's okay. That's what it's okay if we don't know everything. We want to learn, make sure that we can know everything, or, so we're a good resource for people that need help, need information. But this brings me to one of my points about some of the things I don't like. And because I have not a lot of knowledge on certain things, I tend to get taken advantage of. And I say that rather loosely, and I'm not, again, trying to offend anybody who I've worked with in the past. But I've had a lot of people get information from me and then don't book with me. And that is the lowest blow anybody could get. I don't want to cry about it because it's not worth crying over, but it really is. It's really offensive when you give people everything they need to know and then they either book with somebody else or they go online and book it themselves through your Orbitz, your Expedia, directly with the cruise line. It's offensive in a sense that they don't trust that we're giving them the best deal or we're giving them the best value, because it's not always about the best deal. Sometimes it's the best value. Our expertise behind it, the problem solving that we could help them if they ever got into a situation where they needed help. A lot of people don't want to stay on the phone with the cruise lines trying to fix a problem. That's what we're there for. So when you get the information from us and then go somewhere else and do it on your own, you just I didn't charge you anything for that information. And now you just took away the only form of money I would have been able to get because you did it on your own. So this is part of the reason why I haven't grown. It's happened to me way too often. I'm a very nice person. I don't charge service fees. Back when I originally started this business, people were implementing service fees, especially when you were booking airfare, because you're not getting paid for it. So why would we book air if we're not getting paid for it unless we charge the customer for our time? And I have a real problem with that. I have a real problem with charging a customer for my time. So in a way, that's why I'm still a little peon with a lot of knowledge, because I'm not aggressive. I've been hurt way too many times. Don't think that you're ever bothering me when you want to book, because you're not. That's my job. That's my passion. That's what I like to do. Yes, I'm a busy person. I'm constantly traveling. I have grandkids that I'm constantly doing things with, but I will stop what I'm doing to book a trip for somebody. I absolutely will, and I will do it to the best of my ability. So anyway, that's the pet peeve about that. So, another thing is convenience. Again, you tell your travel advisor what you want. It's convenient. You don't have to worry about it. They do all the work for you. That's a win-win situation if you ask me. We research, we do the work, we do the homework for you. But again, you need to follow through on your end and book the trip once we've done the research. A lot of people are hesitant to book with travel agents because they don't think it's saving them money, or they think it cost them extra money. Again, you don't pay me. The supplier that I book pays me. So if I book a cruise with Royal Caribbean or Carnival for you, Royal Caribbean is paying me. Carnival is paying me. If I book a Disney vacation for you, Disney's paying me. You're not paying me. No money's coming out of your pocket. And that's how every travel agency should be. Even the online booking sites, they should be that way. But I'll get to those too. People do assume that we charge more, or we're not giving them the best value or the best deal because they found it cheaper on Orbitz or Expedia or, you know, whatever. Those are things you need to come to us about. If you found it cheaper, give us that information and let us try and get it price matched, or see what we can do to get the same comparable rate. There are places like Expedia, Orbitz, Costco Travel. Those companies are big companies. So sometimes they buy group space, block space, and they can give you a larger onboard credit than somebody like me could. These are things that are typical. They're common, but that's because they're the big people. Right now, we're talking about supporting your small businesses, not your multi-million-dollar businesses. We're talking about supporting independent travel agents, or even the travel agents that have an office, you know, but your AAAs and all of that. Some of those agents are getting paid from AAA. A lot of them I don't think do, though. I think they're based on selling their travel. But again, they might be able to find you a little bit better of a deal here and there because they can buy into group space and they get offered more perks sometimes than little independent agents. So I will be truthful with you about that. But you got to give me a chance to try and see what I can work out. You know, sometimes it may be cutting into my commissions to give you a little bit more. And there are times when I'm willing to do that. So never rule out what can be done. We have access to all of the deals. All the deals, we have access, the excessive amount of access. Another thing I like to do for my clients is when they book a cruise with me, for so to speak, and it's usually with cruising. It doesn't happen too much with vacation packages, but cruises it does a lot. If you book a year out, your cruise is a really great price a year out. But let's say before you make your final payment, 6 months, it goes on sale. I can adjust that price and get you the new price. If it's after final payment has been made, it gets a little bit more trickier. Sometimes I can get the price adjusted. They typically will give you onboard credit when they do the price adjustment, or they'll offer you an upgrade. Say you're in an ocean view and the savings is going to be $200, and you don't want onboard credit. You have the option of maybe looking at upgrading to a balcony and using that $200 to upgrade. You may owe a little bit more or you may not, but you know, we still can work with you if we find a cheaper rate, or you see a special that comes up and you ask, hey, can you get me that deal? Because I've personally done it for myself. several years ago, and we took Aubrey. She was 18 months old. I was paying for her to go on our family cruise. And I was paying third, fourth person rate. If anybody knows what that means, your passengers 1 and 2 in a cruise cabin pay full fare. 3 and 4 pay a substantial amount less. They're not full fare, but it's still costly. So let's just say her rate was going to be about $500. I don't remember exactly what it was because this was back in 2017. So if her rate was $500 at the time, what ended up happening is Royal Caribbean put on a kids sail free program. And what that means is as long as it is on a sailing that it applies to, usually not holiday sailings or, there's certain sailings it won't work with. But the child, as long as they're a third or fourth person in the room, they're going to only be paying taxes and port fees. And legally, they have to pay taxes and port fees. So we went from me paying $500 to literally me paying $150 for her to go on that cruise. And I'm doing the same thing in just a few weeks. We are going on a cruise, and the kids were on the Kids Sail Free program on Royal Caribbean that's going on right now. And Aubrey in her stateroom with her mom and dad, and Alexander in the stateroom with me and Nikki, they're only costing us $126 to go on this cruise, which is great. So, we can do price adjustments. Don't ever hesitate to ask about that. And a lot of times I watch it for my clients to see if it goes down at all when a promo comes up. Sometimes it's not a better deal, but I do keep my eye on it for my clients. Sometimes I do it without even telling them I'm doing it. So a relationship, you're building a relationship with your agent. You have that. All of the people who have faithfully stuck with me and booked their travel with me, we have a rapport. I typically know what they want. I know what their needs are. So, we're going to ask you questions to get to know you a little bit better and build that relationship so we can work with you the way you need to be worked with. You can't do that with an online agent. You can't do that with booking on Orbitz or Expedia. Travel assistance. Holy moly, if this is not a good one. What this means, travel assistance, is unexpected situations for the most part. Early on in my travel career, I had a young couple go on a cruise, and they were doing an overnight in the Bahamas, in Nassau. Well, they got off the ship, they went out partying, and the ship was leaving at a certain time in the morning. They lost track of time, and they missed the ship. They got stuck in Nassau, Bahamas with all of their belongings on the ship. Who do you think they called? Well, they didn't call me because they were frantic in the Bahamas, but the parents called me, said, "Hey, we need your help." And I was able to give him all of the information he needed to get his daughter and her boyfriend back to Miami to get back to the ship to collect all of their belongings once the ship arrived back in Miami. So if you don't have a travel agent, you're going to be doing all of that stuff on your own, and you may be frantic, especially if it's an emergency. There's a situation where you have a death in the family and you have to get off a cruise ship in the midst of the cruise ship in a foreign country and you need to get home. You know, it's a lot of work when you're frantic, but your travel agent is there to help you. It takes a lot of stress out of things, last minute changes, you know, anything like that. A travel agent is there to help you, and you're not going to have to deal with all of that stuff. You just let them know, because it's part of their pay. It's part of what they worked for. The decreased stress comes along with that. You know, you're handing over that stress to somebody else to do it for you. It's overwhelming at times. It's been overwhelming for me planning my own family's vacations. It's definitely been overwhelming. And if I can ease anybody's anxiety planning their vacations, I want to do it. I want to be the one to help them do it. And never question, okay, sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted. No question is silly. Okay, no question is silly. And I've had clients over and over, I'm sorry I'm bugging you again. You're not bugging me. This is my job. I'm here to answer those questions. If you need me to help you because you can't figure out the website for Carnival Cruise Manager is acting up and you're not able to book your alcohol package and you need a little bit of assistance, guess what? That's my job. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you figure it out. What was I going to say? I'm just going to give you a few more of my pet peeves. I want to say that the biggest one is coming to me for information and then not booking the vacation through me, and I find out later that you did go on that trip anyway, or, you know, you went to another travel agent. That's just something that it's just not cool. And I'm not a very vocal person. I don't tell people when, hey, that was wrong. You shouldn't have done that. Because first of all, I don't like confrontation. Anybody who knows me knows I don't like confrontation, but it's pretty disheartening when you find those things out. I have a lot of my own personal family who doesn't book with me, believe it or not. Does it hurt my feelings? I mean, every so often it's like, I'm like, why didn't you even give me a chance? But then some people have had agents way before I was even an agent. But who am I to get mad at these people for booking elsewhere? I mean, I can't get mad at people, especially if they've tried to contact me and I was away or something. But even if I am away, I want you to give me a chance. I want you to give me a chance to do the work for you. Another thing I wanted to reiterate was on booking through the cruise line, or booking through Disney Travel yourself, or booking through Orbitz and Expedia. Let me just let you know that with Orbitz and Expedia, when you're booking air, and I'm not even going to try to say woo your business for air, because again, I don't make any commission off of air. But what I want you to know is that it is a third party. So if for some reason your flights changed, and you didn't like your new flights, so you called, say you booked it through Delta, and you called Delta and you said, hey, my flights changed and these times and stuff don't work for me. Well, guess what? They're not going to talk to you. They're going to tell you you need to contact Expedia or Orbitz or wherever you booked that, because you didn't directly book with them. It's very, very, very common And a lot of time, it's very hard to have Orbitz or Expedia, Kayak, any of those online agencies like that. It's really hard for you to get help when something like that has happened. If you booked a vacation and you get to your resort and somehow they don't know anything about it, you got all the way there and there's no reservation for you, you're gonna call Orbitz, Expedia, and you're gonna have a heck of a time getting them to help you out. So I'm not saying this, I'm saying this, I've known a lot of people that this has happened to. I'm not even trying to woo business that way. I'm just letting you know you need to really be careful when you're booking with these online agencies. Really, 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 really be careful. As far as cruising goes, and even Disney travel, some of the other types of suppliers too for land vacations, really cruising right now. Book with Royal Caribbean directly. Book with Carnival directly. You need to make a change. You're going to be sitting on that phone forever waiting for help. And let me just tell you, it's not pretty right now. It's not fun at all. Even for us agents, it is not fun. A lot of companies lost their employees during the whole pandemic. They're working with very minimal help. They're training new people that don't have a lot of knowledge, and they've made mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. And I'm letting you know this is real. And the common person may not know that this is a mistake and know how to get it corrected, but a travel agent would, and they would be willing to sit on the phone and wait. I had to cancel a cruise, a Disney cruise, for my daughter-in-law and my son. And one of the times I called, the wait time was going to be over 4 hours. Actually, it was even longer than that because it was like 327-minute hold time. That's how long it was going to take me to get through to the agent. Luckily for me, it was my daughter-in-law's cruise I was canceling. So she's like, just try again a different time. You know, she wasn't in a rush for me to have it canceled. But I tried numerous times, and the hold times and the wait times were so long. And finally, I did it on a weekend, and it took like 8 minutes. So, but if you're my client and you insist on it being canceled immediately, I will wait that 6-hour hold time to get it done for you. So don't ever doubt that. But I just wanted you to know that's the way of the world right now. Every supplier out there is short-staffed, and I see on Facebook, I'm in a lot of cruise groups on Facebook, not travel agent groups. I am in some of those also, but a lot of cruise groups where people are just frustrated with the cruise lines for all the mistakes they're making and having to wait on hold to not get things resolved and all of that stuff. And I mean, you got to understand, to a certain extent, they just came off of more than a year of not being able to sail. They're trying to get back out there and trying to get more employees back. But until the ships are full, it's not like they can staff up 100%. So anyway, a travel agent is good for that because they'll be the ones sitting on hold waiting to get through and making sure everything is taken care of and done correctly. So anyway, I've been on here for about 40 minutes letting you know the benefits of having a travel agent, travel advisor, whatever you want to call us. and some of the things that you really shouldn't do to a travel agent. Just don't take advantage of them. Don't use them for their expertise, their knowledge, and then take a poo-poo on them and go do it on your own, or go book with somebody else. It's just not fair for them to do the work, to give you the information, and then for you to do that to them. The first time it happened to me, it was many, many, many years ago, and I planned out this entire, we call them fit. So it was basically an itinerary for like a week long, or maybe more than a week long trip, and spent hours on research and finding hotels and doing all this stuff. And then my clients didn't book through me. So it's happened a lot. It still continues to happen. Then I see them on social media that they've gone anyway. And it's like, oh my gosh, why did I give them the information? So if for some reason you talk to somebody and they're very short with you about giving too much information, it probably won't be me, because I've got the biggest mouth and I like to talk about it. Just know it's not nice to do. All right, well, I guess I'm off. And if you have any questions, if you need to book a trip, especially cruises, because I'm doing quite a few of those these days, just give me a call. It's like my little Disney Cruise Line back there. I've had that since 2005. Had that. And I haven't even been on a Disney cruise. I will be the first to admit I have not done a Disney cruise because I can't bring myself to spend the money on that. I can take 2 Royal Caribbean cruises for the price of one of these. Eventually I'll get my butt on that one of those ships with that mouse, because he's my bud. But yeah, I will talk to y'all guys another time. Thanks for watching.